Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday. It's finally Friday. It is May the 17th. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching this later, hope you are having a good whatever day it is, and perhaps it's the weekend already. That is fantastic. We are here to look at new releases. We do this every day of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The new releases in different genres, and on Fridays it's Freeform Friday, so we kind of look at the other things that caught our attention that didn't necessarily fall into those categories, and more cozy mysteries, because there's always more cozy mysteries. Quick announcements: no sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night, but there are sprints tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and those will go for 5 hours. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. And Elena had stated it's almost the weekend. And yay for the weekend. Yoo-hoo! Yahoo! And Kim, good morning. Good morning, Kim. I'm going to try my best to stay awake. Well, if I fall asleep, that's okay. One thing about Steve is he has a storytelling kind of voice. I mean, it's not like a radio voice, but it's definitely a reading books to kids, hoping they'll fall asleep kind of voice. And it used to drive me nuts because I would be in bed and he'd come in and start to tell me about things or whatever. And I would start to fall asleep because his voice was just that timbre. Good morning, Mary. Happy Friday, and Elena as well. Good morning, Mary. All right. Well, we're here to look at the rest of the stuff. And I did a little prepping last night, and there's some historical mysteries, a historical series fiction that looks interesting. So I thought I would start with those, and then we'll get into the cozies. Mary is asking how you're feeling today, Kim, other than she wants to fall asleep, Kim. All right. First up, Every Time We Say Goodbye by Natalie Jenner. That looks like that would be a beautiful dress. In 1955, Vivian Lowry is facing the greatest challenge of her life. Her latest play, the only female-authored play on the London stage that season, has opened in the West End to rapturous applause from the audience. The reviewers, however, are not as impressed, as the playgoers and their savage notices not only shut down the play, but ruin Lowry's last chance for a dramatic career. With her future in London not looking bright, at the suggestion of her friend Peggy Guggenheim, Vivian takes a job in as a script doctor on a major film shooting in Rome's Cinecity Studios. I might be saying that wrong. There she finds a vibrant movie-making scene filled with rising stars, acclaimed directors, and famous actors in a country that is torn between its past and its potentially bright future, between the liberation of the post-war cinema and the restrictions of the Catholic Church that permeates the very soul of Italy. As Vivian tries to forge a new future for herself, she also must face the long-buried truth of the recent World War and the mystery of what really happened to her deceased fiancé. This book is a brilliant exploration of trauma and tragedy, hope and renewal, filled with dazzling characters both real and imaginary. Oh, I thought that sounded very interesting. The 50s were an interesting time. Kim, I played old baseball games on YouTube to fall asleep. Ah. And Mary says she's okay, and you? Excited. Have to pick up A Hold at the Library. Yay. And the new Anne Hillerman's Lost Birds, Jim Chi and Joe Leaphorn book. I'm glad they're continuing that. Mary, I'm doing good, thanks. Getting ready to go to a bead show tomorrow, so I'm excited, although I have to be a good girl and not buy too much. The temptation is real. I'm thinking about hitting some yard sales tomorrow. Oh, both those things sound very fun. Next up, The Hedge Witch by Colleen Delaney, first in The Witches of Star Island. A Beltane spell reveals a prophecy that will change their lives. So this is seasonal. Uh, Laurel Bay is the third of five witchy sisters living a sweet life on Star Island. She runs a tarot reading business, depends on her sisters to pay her bills, and spends her free time jumping into the hedge world, a realm few witches can access. But when a great love from a past life comes to her, Laurel is blinded by her need to find him. She throws all caution to the wind and ends up stalked by a vengeful witch she can't remember. Owen Davies is stuck. His powers as a son of a witch are minimal. He's surrounded by morally gray water witches, and he's aching to find his soulmate, so much so that he has a storage unit full of furniture he's built for the mysterious woman. Then a fateful vacation lands him in Laurel's garden, and their paths are finally intertwined. With witches after Laurel's powers and buried secrets unearthed, the circumstances begin to mirror their heartbreaking past life. But this time around, Laurel and Owen refuse to be separated, not by time, not by a witch, not by death. Interesting elements, but it's under 300 pages. I would think you could do twice that. Anyway, tired ladies take a stand. It's supposed to rain today, tomorrow, and Sunday here. Been gray most of the week, although yesterday was a beautiful day, sunny and gorgeous. Oh, nice. Yeah, we've been about 80 the last couple days, but I think Sunday we're getting like highs in the 50s, so something's moving in. I'm okay with that. A rainy Sunday, naps and reading and all that. Oof, best day ever. This is by Gretchen Anthony. You've heard of Year of Yes. Introducing Year of No. During one unforgettable year in their 20s, best friends Emma, Fern, Carolina, and Andy make a pact to embrace whatever life throws at them, inspiring Fern to write a memoir detailing their escapades and the magical power of saying yes. But fast forward 20 years, and they have reached their bandwidth of responsibilities. Fern is a full time writer struggling to pay the bills. Carolina is a fitness obsessed workaholic. Andy is a disillusioned human rights lawyer. And Emma is a stressed out divorcee in the thick of planning her daughter's wedding. To reconnect to the fun, fulfilled women they were before, they must learn how to stop saying yes to everything asked of them. And so begins the year of no. That sounds kind of cool too. When you hit a certain age, that absolutely makes sense. So that intrigued me. Kim says we've gotten a lot of rain lately. Oh, here we always need it. The snowpack in the mountains helps for sure, but by about July and August, when we're in the 90s and hundreds, and you know the farmers and all that stuff around here, it's like we need water, and of course, always a threat of fires, always. Tomorrow is for the Brave by Kelly Bowen. Based on true events, is a gripping World War II page turner about a courageous woman who risks it all for what is right. 1939 France. Lavish parties, fast cars, and a closet full of the latest fashion. To the average eye, socialite Violet St. Croix seemingly has it all, but what she really wants is a life full of meaning and purpose. So when France falls to Germany, Violet defies her parents' wishes and joins the war effort. With her impeccable skill for driving under pressure, she is soon sent to North Africa excuse me, to shepherd French Foreign Legion officers carrying valuable intelligence through dangerous territory. But as the Allies encounter one mishap after another, Violet becomes convinced there is a spy in their ranks. And when her commanding officer is murdered, Violet realizes she might be the only one who can uncover the traitor and save the lives of countless soldiers on the front lines. Convincing others to believe her is difficult enough. Finding someone she can trust might be impossible. Must be in the mood for historical fiction because those are all sounding kind of good, or just fiction in general. Rain all weekend, so probably no yard sales for me. Yeah, maybe early enough. Here, there are fires in northwest Canada again. They said the smoke will come down to the US again. Hoping not. Oh, it always does. It always swoops down, and it is so nasty here because we're right in its path. It's like keep your own smoke. We have ours. The Brightwood Code by Monica Hess. 7 months ago, Etta was on the World War I front lines as one of 200 Hello Girls, female switchboard operators employed by the U.S. Army. She spent her nights memorizing secret connection codes to stay ahead of spying enemies, and her days connecting vital calls between platoons and bases and generals, all trying to survive and win a brutal war. Their lives were in Etta's hands, and one day, in fateful seconds, everything went wrong. Now Etta is back in Washington, D.C., working as an American Bell telephone operator, the picture of respectability. But when her shift ends, Etta is barely hanging on, desperate to forget the circumstances that cut her time overseas short. When Etta receives a panicked phone call from someone who utters the fateful code word Brightwood, she has no choice but to confront her past. With precious few clues and help only from Theo, a young man bearing his own World War I scars, Etta races to uncover what secrets may have followed her across the ocean. That sounded cool too. Good morning, Deborah. Wild weather down here. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. It's just nice to see you. I'm going to take this moment to grab some coffee. Just a minute. Coffee is required. Oh, God. You all have been having wild weather lately down your way. Heavy rains, tornadoes, hail, wind. Please stay safe. Absolutely. Please stay safe. All Fours by Miranda July. A semi-famous artist announces her plan to drive cross-country from LA to New York. 30 minutes after leaving her husband and child at home, she spontaneously exits the freeway, checks into a nondescript motel, and immerses herself in an entirely different journey. Miranda July's second novel confirms the brilliance of her unique approach to fiction. With July's wry voice, perfect comic timing, unabashed curiosity about human intimacy, and palpable delight in pushing boundaries, this book tells the story of one woman's quest for a new kind of freedom. Part absurd entertainment, part tender reinvention of the sexual, romantic, and domestic life of a 45-year-old female artist, this book transcends expectation while excavating our beliefs about life lived as a woman. Okay. All righty. Back to the cozy mysteries. I don't think we had done Ghoul Interrupted. These I've not prepped, so I'm going to be checking dates and so forth. Good morning, Elena. How am I? I'm doing well. I'm very glad it's Friday. And you're doing great. Oh, I'm always glad to hear that. Mary said, I watch the weather down your way since my daughter lives in Pensacola. Yeah, keep an eye on that. We were lucky, says Deborah, at my house, even your garden was spared. Woohoo. Elena says, hey, Mary. I'm saying, hey, back. Happy Friday. Glad to hear that, Deborah. Indeed. All right. Let's do the cozy mysteries. Ghoul Interrupted, a Lady of the Lake School for Girls cozy mystery, book number 23. Good for her. Serena Dory is the author. Wicked Witches, Murder, Mystery. A ghoul's plans for romance are foiled by true love. Is there any way Vega can come out of this as anything other than a wicked witch? Vega Bloodmeyer thinks she has found the perfect man, a hot detective who has no problem kissing her in a graveyard, a man who will accept her for who she is. He might not even be as opposed to her ghoulish nature as she had previously feared. Unfortunately, her romantic plans for the future are foiled when she learns Detective Isidro Medina is supposedly her co-worker's soulmate. Hang on a second. My brightness suddenly went not bright. As if this isn't enough to worry about, Vega discovers one of her students has a dangerous secret. With a little digging, literal and figurative, she learns there is more to this student than meets the eye. A shapeshifter who inadvertently takes on the appearance of others is a rare ability, and one that can make enemies. This power threatens to expose Vega's own secrets as a ghoul. Vega isn't the only one who has noticed what the student can do. When this student turns up dead, mirroring other victim 5 years prior, Vega is startled by the similarities. This brings up Vega's past with her college roommate, who had similar reasons to hide an unusual identity. Because the school would rather keep the incident hushed up to avoid scandal than protect students, Vega takes it upon herself to discover the murderer and punish those responsible. Has more depth than you see in some of these paranormal quickies, shall we say. An eclipse of evidence. Timely, we just had the eclipse. By Kristen King, third in the Hollows Glen Coven mystery. A cozy town with paranormal sightings in the mountains, a coven of elemental witches searching for answers to a disappearance, moon magic stirring up what hides in the shadows, plus workings of the Fae to complicate matters. The lunar eclipse brings the strange disappearance of a close family friend and the discovery of a dead body on her property to complicate matters. With a lack of evidence, but many around town seeming guilty, the coven must unravel the complicated web of deception that hides under the surface. While piecing together the clues before the Lunar New Year, the girls soon find deep connections to the unusual happenings around town. Will they reveal dangerous ulterior motives before it's too late? Perhaps. Excuse me. That one came out earlier. Pirates of the Caribbean Cruise, book number 8 in the Cruising Through Midlife series by Addison Moore. Includes recipe. Ahoy, mateys! The Emerald Queen set sail for a lively crew of pirate larpers, transforming the tranquil cruise into a swashbuckling adventure. But as the ship navigates balmy Caribbean waters, the line between friendly role-playing and deadly reality blurs. For one buccaneer, it will be their final voyage. An impending divorce, an ornery homicide detective, the cruise of a lifetime, and ghosts. Midlife on the high seas is proving to be a real killer. That would be perfect for Talk Like a Pirate Day, but that's in September. Claws on the Bayou, a paranormal cozy mystery, cozy New Orleans book number 2 by Corinne Winters. The new hit item on this bakery's menu is a surprise recipe for murder, which and bakery owner Daisy Wallace just can't catch a break. After solving a murder, sorry, had to double check the date. Some of these just sound a lot alike. After solving a murder and finding romance, she's invited to New Orleans' biggest food competition, Food Fest. Excuse me. But when fellow competitor Ezra turns up dead, Daisy once again finds herself a suspect. Determined to clear her name and get justice for Ezra, Daisy resumes her amateur sleuthing with her quirky assistant Zoe and cat familiar Motley. With her romance with William heating up and a killer on the loose, Daisy must tap into her supernatural skills to stop the killer before she's the next victim. But secrets run deep in the Big Easy's culinary scene. Can Daisy uncover the truth and whip up the real killer? Or will this case spell her last recipe? I think she'll prevail. "18 pages. That is a short story." Oop. Sour Grapes at the Harvest Ball by Connie Parker. Sid is having nightmares after her ordeal with Dmitri Costanza. Her divorce from Artie is now final. When she goes by his house to leave his copy, Gladys opens the door wearing a slinky gown, claiming Artie is in the shower, and he asked Gladys to take the papers. Gladys insisted he wanted the proof of the divorce to move on with her. Sid is irate and blocks his calls. She runs into Michael Haverty at Topper's and invites him to be her date for the harvest ball. When Artie finds out, he is jealous and tries to explain to Sid that Gladys lied. He wasn't back from New York when Sid went by house. During the ball, Madison gets a call from I'm terribly confused. This isn't like a blurby summary, it's an outline. I don't know. Moving on. Oh, we're out of time. Let's see. The others here are Cookie Dough Catastrophe by Angela K. Ryan, Chamomile Tea and a Copycat Crime, Fourth in the Water Wheel Cafe by Victoria Tate, and Murder at Misty Creek by Jeannie Wolfe, number 4 in the Starry Hill Mysteries. All right. Are you ready for a pop-in coffee? Maybe it's a coffee. Might be something else. To end the week on? There. Woo! It's a party in a glass. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, Elena. Have a good day. Oh, you betcha. Mary says, thanks so much and great to see you all here today. Have a great weekend, everybody. Indeed, you too. Kim, see you tomorrow. Oh, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Kim, you stayed awake. Good job. All right. So next week we'll look at the new releases that are being set into the wild next week. And we'll start with Cozy Mysteries again on the Monday. But we'll look at all the books all next week. And again, no sprints tonight, but we will have them tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Doris and bye all. Thank you. Yep. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend if I don't see you. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.